So in the next update, Mosin with 8mm is being nerfed, but you want to know what isn't? TRG with a long barrel, which is incredibly powerful. Before we hop into this video though, I want to thank today's sponsor. So before we hop into the video, I would really like to thank today's sponsor, Exter. Exter makes these extremely high quality smart wallets that I fell in love with immediately. As you can see, Exter's products hold a really modern design, and they can hold up to 8 cards at a time, which is really impressive considering you only see 2 card slots right here. But without a doubt, my absolute favorite thing about these wallets is with a push of a simple button on the bottom here, I can pop up all my cards. Not only do these wallets look absolutely amazing and they're made with extremely high quality leather, they're also a smart wallet. By just pushing the Exter logo on the smart card tracker twice, you could actually ring your phone from your wallet and also use the app on the phone to ring your wallet. These Exter wallets are without a doubt the most convenient, best looking wallet that I've ever had. Check out the link in the description to get 15% off of the best wallet that you'll ever buy. So today's setup that we're going to be using is the default TRG site, the Sidewinder or whatever, a long barrel, which is the most important part of this setup, skeleton grip, and green laser. We do have kill confirmed on Desert Storm, so I think we might as well try it out. I'm already 30 kills in, so you could ignore the first 30 kills. Anything after that will be with the TRG and whatnot, but I hope you guys have all been doing well and staying safe. The TRG with long barrel is not being nerfed as far as I know in the next update, but Mosin with 8mm is, and the reason why this is important is because Mosin with 8mm has become arguably the strongest sniper by like a landslide. Like, it's ridiculously powerful. People are flat out not having fun playing against it, and I don't blame them by any means. But the TRG with long barrel is nowhere near as talked about for no good reason, truthfully. The gun is just as crazily powerful, maybe slightly less than the Mosin 8mm right now, but once that 8mm is gone, the Mosin will be going back to not being that like crazy good. At this current moment, it's honestly kind of fair to call the Mosin a close-range BFG. Being able to one-shot to the torso with 8mm, although really enjoyable and I love having 8mm on the gun, is definitely in need of some tweaking, and I've been mentioning that a bit in the past, and I'm happy that it is happening. TRG, on the other hand, I think this will probably become the next top sniper rifle, probably by a landslide, because it might have one of the furthest one-shot body distance and also having a really good fire rate. Basically putting the intervention in a really weird position. The intervention has always been one of the craziest long range like torso shotguns, as far as like, you know, something that isn't a one shotgun like the BFG or M107 or things like that. Mosin was usually your go-to if you didn't want to aim for a headshot. When the 8mm came out, that was no longer a thing. Now with 8mm being nerfed, you now have the TRG kind of being the happy medium for snipers. Slightly better faster fire rate than the intervention, having a good reload time, slightly less bullets, but retaining that one-shot torso. Please get off of me. You just missed so many shots. That's really embarrassing, bud. But it's going to be the happy medium sniper that I think really needs to get some more attention. Hopefully not too negative attention, because I don't know how much this needs to be tweaked, but you know, it's powerful where it's at. But I also feel as though this is going to put snipers as a whole into, again, another really weird position. For a while before things like the TRG, the 8mm Mosin and all that were added, snipers felt kind of dull. And now that they have these crazy one-shot torso ranges, where do we go with taking sniper balance? Do we want these guns to retain one-shot torso ranges that are really far? My personal fix for the Mosin specifically was going to just be, if you know it was up to me, lower the torso one-shot distance and make it so you can't have 8mm and extended mag. I feel as though that was without a doubt one of the biggest issues. Having 10 bullets with that one-shot torso range made them far too powerful. The TRG doesn't have that problem because it has the one-shot torso range without 10 bullets, where, you know, you can sit at 6 with bolting 1 and blah blah blah. It made it a lot more understanding. As these updates come into play, I wonder where the sniper category will really go. I feel as though, like I mentioned, the meta has shifted over the past few years to being one-shot torso guns rather than the high skill, high headshot guns like when the Scout came out or when the Mosin prior to 8mm. The changes are going to be really weird, and I'm curious to see what changes will be made after the 8mm Mosin. Will something like the TRG long barrel also need to be tweaked, or will it be fine where it's at? I think it's kind of hard to say because they're a weird comparison, and comparing things before they're nerfed and then after they're nerfed can lead to some really weird things. I think my personal outlook is hoping that something like the TRG, if it does get nerfed, it's just a minor body shot nerf. But you could also substitute that with other things. I don't think the fire rate on the TRG would ever need to be nerfed, truthfully, no matter like how powerful it was really becoming. It doesn't shoot anywhere near as fast as the Mosin or Scout or SVDS or anything like that. So as far as like long range sniping, it's definitely not your best choice. But for aggressive snipers, I feel like that's where the category is becoming crazy. Like I said, for years, many years of Phantom Forces, if you wanted an aggressive sniper, most of the time, if you weren't good, like crazy good with a Mosin and hitting headshots, you went with the intervention. And although the intervention is still crazy good, I personally feel as though the TRG long barrel just outclasses it now. It's weird because we had the intervention buff not that long ago, truthfully. I just feel as though snipers have been evolving in these past probably, I don't know, 2 years really fast. They've been evolving a lot, and keeping up with them and keeping them at a reasonable point is becoming more and more difficult in my eye. Not to say that, you know, snipers are in a terrible point right now, because I don't think they are. They're probably in the best point that they've been in ever, like in the history of Phantom Forces, if we're being honest here. But going forward, where do we go with it? Do we take it and move on to something like, I don't know, moving it back into the headshot only scene? That's why something like the Scout was added. The Scout was added to be a headshot monster, super fast fire rate, giving you everything that you wanted in a really aggressive sniper. But now it's just outclassed. Like, I honestly don't see the Scout being worth it almost ever at this point. Body shot snipers have become the meta, and they're seeming like they're here to stay. And I'm happy about that. But I'm also skeptical about, will it be good for PF as a whole? It would be a very difficult thing to take back what the sniper meta has become. And I don't know if I necessarily want it to, but the option's always there, right? Like, we could always revert back and change things up. Granted, that'd be a major update, and I think it would come with a lot of complications, but it's always possible, right? We can always revert back to something else. It's been crazy to see that the meta has gone from such passive sniping to such aggressive sniping. And with how good players are getting nowadays, aggressive snipers are probably one of the most frustrating things to deal with because they have so much usability now. A while ago, you had the super slow shooting intervention, or maybe like the R700, but the R700's one-shot body range wasn't even that far. And now they're just completely outclassed. The intervention, still one of the top snipers, but if you compare it to these other guns, it's not anywhere near as worth it. The only benefit it has really is its ammo and a slightly further one-shot distance. So as these older guns are now being put out of the meta, with these new guns stepping in a completely new playstyle to go along with them, I feel as though Phantom Forces, even outside of snipers, has just become a much more fast-paced game than it used to be. So I know a little bit of rambling in this video, but it's kind of where I just wanted to talk about this. Where will the sniper meta be going? Where do you guys think it should be going? And how do you feel about where it's at this very moment before the Mosin update? Do you think that snipers are becoming too powerful? Do you think they should be tweaked back some? Or do you think that there's actually more positive tweaking that could happen to them rather than negative? Like I said, I personally stand on the side that I enjoy aggressive sniping. It's always been my preferred playstyle. I think Phantom Forces is too fast-paced of a game to really reward passive sniping. You know, sitting in it back and playing it like a generic, quote-unquote generic sniper doesn't have any real benefit anymore, and I don't think it ever really did. So to have these aggressive snipers, they're really changing everything, and I think that they're going in a positive direction, but I would love to see how you guys feel about it. Also realized we dropped like 78 here. We definitely could have dropped 100 if we were playing for the whole time. I stopped to start up this recording. But again, please leave me your feedback in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.